Hey Jessica, my name is Jessica as well, from Peterson SEO. And I spoke to Thomas earlier and he accepted this video on your behalf. And I'm super excited that he did because today I'm going to show you 3 main strategies you can start applying right away. And it's going to make a huge impact in your business. And I know that it will because we've applied these same strategies with over 50 other restoration companies just like you guys, and it's made a huge impact on their business. Right now, you guys only have about 5 people organically landing on your website per month. Those are people that are not typing in your web address, but are searching for services. So you get about 5 of those, which means you're missing out on hundreds and thousands of people searching throughout your service area every single month by just not having these strategies in place. Okay. So we're going to talk about your content keyword strategy, your citations, and then your backlinks. Okay. So we are here on your website. You do have a good looking website. I like that you have the click to call phone number. You do actually have a good website structure as far as how you would structure your pages. This is great. You really do need these, especially for your main service. So if water damage is your main service and you don't want to be a generalist, you want to be a specialist. So Google actually shows you as more of an authority. You really want that for that service. So if water damage is that service, that's where you want to really boost water damage more so than the others. Otherwise, you're kind of being a specialist here. I'm not a specialist, a generalist. With water damage being first, we're mentioning fire here first. So it kind of contradicts your structure here. When it comes to ranking on Google, there's been a ton of changes. We even had a huge major change in the last month to how Google is indexing and ranking. And there's been a ton of changes. So to rank and have your website found on Google, the number one thing is your content. Content is key, and you do need a lot of content. You do need separate pages for all your major services, which you definitely have. And you definitely want separate pages for all your service areas. Okay. This is important, but you don't just want pages. Okay. These pages have to be about the services and have, local keywords for each area. So you can't have duplicate content. Every single one of your pages needs its own original content, never duplicated, and their own local keywords. Those are the keywords people are actively searching for your services. So, and Rancho Cucamonga, that's going to be water damage, Rancho Cucamonga, water damage restoration, Rancho Cucamonga, etc. Okay. So we have to focus on those local keywords. As important as your brand is, 90% of the time when your customers are searching, especially in an emergency, they don't know who you are. They're not searching your brand. They are searching the services and asking questions related around those services. So that is where you need to be showing up. And so, while you do have a fair amount of content, which is good, your content needs to be built around those local keywords. Every image, every video needs to be optimized. So here we have fire and water restoration in Rancho Cucamonga. So that is an partially optimized photo, so that's good. And then, like I said, you do have a fair amount of content. You do have a couple FAQs. This is kind of worthless for you, though. If you want to actually be found, you want generative searches, you want voice recognition, you have to have good FAQs. You want answers that are at least 100 words or more, thorough details, okay? When it comes to your content, we can no longer get away with just generic information content. It needs to be content that resonates with your customers. What questions are they answering? And then being able to answer those. Okay, so it needs to be detailed information about what you do, your processes, the equipment you use, everything that is helpful, useful information. Okay, that's critical. Your homepage needs at least 1,500 words or more of that written content. If your competition has 1,500 words, you're going to want 2,000. Okay, so we always have to do better than our competition is doing. So for you guys with such a huge service area, you haven't really been indexed for many keywords. You're not getting that traffic. So content keyword strategy is going to be critical to be indexed for keywords. Google is sending crawlers to this website, and it scans every image, video, and written content to learn as much possible information as they can about you, your business, what services you offer, and where you offer those services. And so when you don't have the right type of content, you don't have the keyword strategy dialed in, it's nearly impossible for Google to bring customers to your website. Okay. Now, if we look at your top competitor just in Rancho Cucamonga, we do have Restoration One, and yes, they are a franchise, but you don't compete against an entire franchise, just the local areas. And most of these guys have their hands tied. Most of these guys are not able to really modify this content for a content strategy that works for them in their area. And so you just have to do better. Have better quality content, more pages, more of those long form blogs, and all of those are going to help you to be more competitive and to be able to outrank these local franchisees. Okay. Now we know when your customer does a search, they're going to do a search similar to this. And when they do, there's 3 main areas that your website and your business has the potential to show up in good position. The first is generally going to be ads, and these are going to be local service ads like these, or even the cost per click ads like these. Okay, and this can be really profitable as long as you have everything dialed in, your processes are dialed in, you have the right type of landing pages, and you're not just sending people to the generic website where they're going to get distracted and bounce off. It's wasted ad spend with low conversions. Okay. So the second section here, this is your Google Map Pack, your Google Business Profile. I am happy to see that for this specific search, you are in the top 3. In the last 60 days, Google has eliminated who is visible. So only the top 10 companies are showing up. So if you're not seeing yourself here, you're not in the top 3 for your service areas or the different services or searches, you do need to further optimize this profile and go out and get more citations. And those are simply listing the name of your business, your address, phone number, and website, and putting those in a bunch of directories like Yellow Pages, Better Business Bureau, Glassdoor, Angie's, etc. So the more of those that you get, the more of your competition, the bigger boost, the more trust Google has. Okay. And then this third section here is the most important section. This is the organic section, and it's so critical because 60 to 70% of people, they'll skip the maps, they'll skip the ads, and they come right here. So when your business is not listed here for one of your services in each of your service areas, you're losing 60 to 70% of the available searches every single month. This is for all your services, all your service areas. So this is absolutely critical positioning that you need to be in. And it all comes down to how this website is built and structured with the right content and keyword strategy. And then are you supporting that with backlink SEO? Okay. So this is Ahrefs, a paid tool we use to show how your website is performing. We can see your website as a whole has a score of 0 out of 100 in Google's trust flow, which means that Google does not trust your website. And yes, it does have to do with the quality of the content on your website, but more so the power we send to our website. Okay. Your website is a tool, and like all tools, most require power. Okay. And so we send power with backlinks, which are basically a link coming from another website to your website. Okay. This is really, really important. We need more of these than our competitors, but it's important to understand that not all backlinks are created equal. This is a popularity contest. We only want to be getting the do follow links that are closely related to the services you offer. So backlinks coming from other home service businesses like electricians and plumbers are fabulous. Those would help a lot. Okay, and even some vendors and directories would be great as well. So we need good quality backlinks, and as you do that, the score goes up. Google promotes your website because it trusts you more. It's going to help you rank those keywords. Okay, now you've only been indexed for 19 keywords, even though you have all those pages, because you really don't have a defined keyword strategy on your website. And so you're only getting 5 people organically to your website. If we look at your keywords, the only keyword you're ranking for is your brand. And yes, your brand is important. Okay. But like I said, 90% of people are never going to be searching this brand. People who are searching a brand already know who you are. Okay. It's people that are searching for your services that you're missing out on. We don't want to focus on these national keywords, because even though they have a lot of volume, this is not local volume. This is national volume. So even if you rank for these keywords, the percentage of people in your area searching them is going to be small. So we don't just want to drive mad traffic to your website. We want to drive the right type of traffic to your website that's going to convert. So you have to focus on those local keywords. So now if we look at your competitor, Restoration One, okay, they have a rating for this one page of a 6, okay? They do have over 100 backlinks. This one page of theirs has 46 keywords and gets 182 people to this one specific page. And part of that has to do with the power of this website, because they're not doing a whole lot of SEO. It doesn't make sense to, since they can't fix what's wrong. But because this website is so powerful, it is able to push power back to each of these little franchisees, which does help them to rank. If we look at those keywords, we can also see that they are on the first page and in top positions for these local keywords. So they're getting a bulk of the traffic. The higher you rank on the page, the more of this traffic you get for each of these keywords, okay? So with the number 1 position, you could be getting anywhere from 33 to 40% of the traffic per keyword. So you are missing out on tons of traffic in Rancho Cucamonga, as well as all your other service areas, by not having these strategies in place. And yes, these guys are absolutely beatable, but you do have to apply the strategies that I've just shown you. So please feel free, take this information, run with it, apply it yourself, and start driving that business, helping more people in your community. But if you'd rather focus on what you do best and have a partner in growth, this is what we specialize in here at Peterson SEO. So please feel free to reply to my email, give us a call, and we'd be happy to chat. Thank you so much for watching, and I do look forward to hearing from you soon.